Alright, hey, hi, hello. How's it going, guys? My name is ZetaRayZod, and welcome back to more of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Now, before I begin, be sure to like, subscribe, and get that bell icon to stay up to date on all my latest videos. So, last we left off, Benzies kind of got the jury to vote guilty again, so now we're doing the summation examination. And turns out juror number 4 is actually the surgeon that worked on Sholmes. And, you know, we kind of like spoke to juror number 6, the Russian guy who turned out to be a ballistic expert, and we found out that the thing that actually pierced Sholmes in his stomach is not the bullet, but it's actually a piece of glass from the vials at his side. I'll just show you to you. Where is it? Over here. So we can see it's broken here, right? So this is where, apparently this is where the brother shot Sholmes, and because of that, the glass pierced him over here, and then... Did I just see something? No, I didn't. Yeah, so the bullet just pierced him here, and then, not pierced him, it pierced the glass vial, and then the glass, like, kind of, like, lodged itself in his stomach from over here, and that's how he got the injury. But for now, I'm not even sure what else I'm supposed to be doing. Is there anything else I can look at this thing? Glass vials are full of Hurley's homemade potions. Oh, we reset this. Okay, wait. I just want to look at everything just to make sure. It's really scorched badly just here. Okay, wait. I didn't get this dialogue actually. It's really scorched. Oh, the strap is broken. Look. This must be with a bullet hit then. Let me see. I did see something. It's a bullet. It's a bullet. What? What the? Iris, look! The guy where the broken vial was. Do you see it? That's Skulking Brothers' bullet. The stroke of luck that it hit his pouch. It's an amazing discovery. What this means is there were 3 bullets fired at the Winnie Bugs that night. There you go! I said in the previous episode, there's gotta be 3 bullets. I found exactly what the juror is talking about. Okay, so the bullet was not in Sholmes' chest, but technically it was still on him. So there's 3 bullets now. Aha! Okay. Hold up. Perfect. That's absolutely perfect. That was luck. That was a stroke of luck. Honestly, I was just struggled to look at everything. Okay. So we know there's 1 bullet lodged in the calendar. There's 1 lodged in Winnie Bank. So this is definitely a 3rd bullet. Let's press U. Okay. Let's just keep going. Logical. Yep. Coffee goes missing. They're kind of like another bullet somewhere. I can prove it. I can prove it now. Allow me to show you then. The 3rd bullet. Huh. Here it is. We discovered it just now. Yes. On the night in question, Winnie Bank's pawnbrokery, another bullet was fired. What is this new trickery, you Nipponese conjurer? Where did you find that bullet? It was lodged inside Mr. Sholmes' pouch. What? This pouch was removed from around Mr. Sholmes' waist before he was taken to the hospital. And since then, it has been touched by no one. Do you mean to say the shot fired from the Skulking Brothers that night? Yes, as your lordship has surmised, it hit this pouch. That makes no sense whatsoever. We already know the whereabouts of the bullet fired at Mr. Sholmes. It's clearly visible in this photographic print. Oh, dipshit, come on. Like I said, that calendar is too high for Mr. Sholmes to be shot in the chest. In the stomach, sorry. 2 guns from the scene have already been submitted into court record as evidence. Yes, that are Mr. Winnebeck and that belonging to the Skulking Brothers. An examination of both guns revealed that only a single bullet had been fired from each. Oh. Well, that must mean... That's right. We now know that on the night in question, 3 bullets were fired. However, only 2 bullets were fired from the guns recovered from the crime scene. And until that incontrovertible inconsistency is somehow explained, we cannot and must not pass judgment. Order? While the submission examination remains incomplete, the court has been presented with new facts. facts that would appear to shake the very foundations upon which the case against the defendant has been built. As is my prerogative in this situation, I hereby temporarily suspend the summation examination. By Jupiter. What? Bailiff, bring the witnesses back to the stand at once. Damn, the judge took matters into his own hands. Hey, boys, back at it again. Witnesses? Governor? Were you listening to proceedings while the defense carried out the summation examination? We was, Governor, we was. Perhaps we can dispense with a tedious preamble. Simply answer this one question. A third bullet has been identified at the scene of the crime. What do you make of that? Make of it, Gov. I don't make nothing of it. Is it one of yours? Go blimey, Gov. Go blimey, not a chance. In that case, did you have an accomplice? What? What? Never. The Skulking brothers work alone. It's just the two of us. That's our trademark. How soon we forget per sulky. Only 2 of the bullets from the crime scene originated from the firearms we have in evidence. The third bullet was fired from another gun. Where is it? Lummy, it's an head scratcher. Counsel for the defense. Yes? I should like to hear your thoughts regarding this new development. The third bullet, and the mysterious missing firearm from whence it came. Looking back over all the testimony we've heard and all the evidence we've seen, I think I'm starting to form a picture. A picture of what really happened that night. My lord, I think it's clear what this third bullet tells us about the Skulking brothers. Did they have the accomplice? They had another gun? I don't think they had another gun. What's going to do with them? I don't know. It's either first or second, the third. They don't have. I'm pretty sure they didn't have another gun. But I'm not sure if. I'm pretty sure it's Benedict. I'm not sure if Benedict was in it with them, or it's kind of like he came afterwards, or like came in before. I don't know. I'm just saying they have a secret accomplice. On that night in Windybank's pawnbroker, the brothers must have been working with a third man. You're not denying it. The witnesses are clearly doing their best to cover up the existence of this accomplice. But the evidence all points to the fact that there was someone else present. Someone carrying a gun. What are you yelling? An accomplice, you say? Pig swill. These protracted proceedings have already forced us to endure 2 summation examinations. Yet in all that time there has been not a murmur of a third man. This apparently wraith-like being exists. Actually, he did. Do you remember when the brothers were saying like, oh, you know, don't say anything. He's gonna be mad, you know? The court must be shown hard evidence. Without it, this fantasy will be crushed. Mr. DeVet's answers on 2 counts. Firstly, proof, evidence that this accomplice was ever at the scene of the crime, and secondly, the identity of the spurious character. Skulkin's a lion, I know that. I think I know what the evidence is, but how can I ascertain the identity of the person they're hiding? Well, counsel? I'm supposed to prove the existence of this accomplice and reveal the person's identity even. In response to the prosecution's demands, my lord, the defense is ready. The defense is ready. I believe I can provide all the answers the prosecution demands. So, my Nipponese friend, despite the swimming eyes, you seem to think you have something to say. This promises to be interesting. I have to push forward now. There's no other option. I need to use every single piece of evidence available to me that will make a difference. Okay. In that case, counsel, I would ask you to present the evidence without delay. On the night in question, in the moments leading up to the death of the victim, what proof do you have that there was a third intruder present at the scene? I am gonna say that it's this. Because now we know for a fact that Sholmes did not touch the bullet, yet blood is here. So I'm gonna say it's this. The evidence is right here, in this portfolio. By Jove, that portfolio again, is it? Do you expect the court to rifle through your papers itself? Be more specific. claim one of those blood samples proves the presence of his third intruder. Well, which one is it? This one. What am I looking at here? There appears to be some green paint or such like around the bullet hole in the middle of the calendar. That's a blood stain, my lord. A blood stain? Green blood. Curious even for you. Is the court to understand that the intruder was some unhuman creature? It's something developed by Mr. Sherlock Sholmes. Boy, the great detective. New invention, stop. Not yet appeared in the story, stop. It's this, you see. It doesn't have a name yet, though. This fogger sprays a chemical that reacts to the different elements in people's blood to change its color. Different elements of people's blood? Yes, everyone's blood is slightly different, you see, because it's made up of different elements. So by seeing what color it changes to, you can tell in a flash whose blood it is. Oh, that brings a whole new extra dimension to looking at blood. Talk of blood in courtroom, stop! Very exciting, stop! As an example, this one shows the blood of the victim, Mr. Winnebeck. Ah, a striking blue. Yes, so you see, the green color of this bloodstain on the calendar shows that somebody else was shot in the main part of the shop. Now hold fire there, young man. Could be from some unrelated incident, couldn't it? No, it's not unrelated. The date showing on the calendar is the date on which Mr. Winnebeck was killed. By golly. Therefore, we can assume that whoever was shot on the same day. And then whose blood is it? Well, the Skulking brothers in the stand don't appear to be suffering from any gunshot injuries. Which means it must be the blood of somebody else. The third intruder. Whose identity the court is still waiting to hear. Oh, whose identity the court is still waiting to hear. You can't delay this any longer, my learned friend. Who is this alleged third intruder? I'm gonna say Eggert. The man's name is Eggert Benedict. Eggert Benedict? Who on earth are you talking about, counsel? He paid a visit to Winnebank's pawnbrokery on the afternoon before the incident took place. When the accused attempted to deceive the pawnbroker into releasing this article into possession. That's right. The man identified by the defense, Mr. Eggert Benedict, then attempted to take the article from the defendant by force. Yeah, he did. He pointed a gun at us. Broker? Yes, sir. I believe this filthy pickpocket thief has just redeemed an article from you, no? Yes, The article in question belongs to me. I demand for it to be returned at once. Now that's a lie. What are you trying to pull? Give me back my overcoat, you wastrel. Needless to say. Any music box disc too. Inspector Gregson was there at the time and can attest to what happened. In the end, it was the inspector himself who took the disc. Can you corroborate this account, Inspector? Yes, my lord. That's more or less what happened. And in the interest of being thorough, I asked Winnebank for a print showing the fella. Oh, there he is. Taken from one of his red-handed recorder gubbinses. Yes, that's him talking to Winnebank that morning. And you claim this man is the brother's accomplice. Well, Mr. and Mrs. Skulkin, I've never seen the geezer before in my life. All my life, Gav, all my life, never seen him. Well, somewhat unsurprisingly, it appears our witnesses disagree with this assertion. Well, they've lied before. I'm sure your lordship recalls my learned Nipponese friend's actual assertion, which was that he could prove the identity of the alleged accomplice. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a freaking minute, I just remembered. This blood wasn't on the disc when we first saw it. This blood is actually Benedict's. Because Gina attacked him or something, and because like the sharp edges kind of like pulled at his skin or something, he got blood on it. Oh, there you go. Yes, and I can. This shows the evidence. I agree. You must see proof that the clean-cut gentleman in the photograph is the filthy criminal you say he is. This is the last piece of evidence. I've had a feeling that something has been missing in this trial from the very start. But now, I'm gonna drag it kicking and screaming through the courtroom. Are you ready to present your answer to the court then, counsel? Yes, my lord, the defense will present the evidence now. Proof that the man pictured in this photographic print was in fact the person struck by the third bullet. It's this disc! As I mentioned before, on the afternoon of the day in question, the defendant attempted, deceitfully admittedly, to reclaim this disc from Windybanks. Which is when the aforementioned Egbert Benedict appeared on the scene, I believe. This man then attempted to purloin the article from the defendant's possession, no? That's correct, my lord. I myself was present at the time. It was following this that a minor incident occurred. But of course, here's the disc for you. Very well. Then I shall bid you farewell. Say goodbye to style. Wait a minute, that disc. That's mine. What do you think you're doing, you little tramp? You've drawn blood, you filthy animal. That's the event I was talking about. Being in the music box, it has countless small but sharp metal protrusions over its surfaces. Those protrusions cause Mr. Benedict's finger to bleed, and the resulting smear of blood is still visible in the disc now. Goodness, a bloodstain, is it? My assistant and I have just analyzed the bloodstain here in this very courtroom, using my trusty fogger gun. Yes, and we added the results to his portfolio. Green? I say, it's green. It's exactly the same color as blood on ground calendar. Wait. That's rule number 6, my bad. Evidence is conclusive. The man calling himself Mr. Egbert Benedict, who was in Windybanks earlier in the day, is the accomplice who was present at the scene of the crime that same night. So there's someone else there. Look at those two brothers now. They're sweating buckets. Oi, what are you talking about? It's boiling in here. My lord, it's the opinion of the defense that Mr. Egbert Benedict should be summoned to the courtroom to testify. It would certainly seem that we can ill afford to ignore this gentleman's apparent presence. This has gone on long enough now. This flagrant ignorance of the mechanics of law. Sherlock Sholmes, you say? Yes, I've heard the name. Protagonist in a series of short stories for the vulgar classes, a god of detection or some such. And now you employ chemical substances devised by this fantastical persona in the highest court in the land? Do you expect us to take you seriously? The samples made by this plaything are not fit to be called evidence. He has a point. I'm gonna have to agree with Van Ziet's here. So the bloodstain turned a shade of green. What of it? Appears to you successfully proving that no other blood in the world would turn the same color. Also true. That's what I've been saying as well. 7 billion people in the world, that's not that many colors. And pray, do not even think of suggesting that we should take Mr. Sholmes' word for it. Ugh. Is he right? Is Mr. Sholmes' concoction a load of rubbish? I don't know, I mean, he's a great detective. What are you talking about? We can't let him get away with that. I knew we'd come to this. Of course, Mr. Sholmes' invention is going to be recognized by any official body, yeah. But what other choice did I have? I'm just remembering what Father Christmas over there said before. About how he was temporarily suspending the summation examination. Oh. In other words, the examination isn't over yet, is it? Good grief. What did you just say, young girl? And in the summation examination, the decision as to whether or not the trial continues is in the hands of the 6 jurors, isn't it? Aha. So the way I see it, it doesn't matter what certain other people think of Hurley's invention. At least, not for now. Yeah, she's right. Young lady, you have quite a devious mind. It really just comes down to one thing. Whether these ladies and gentlemen of the jury are convinced by what you say, Bruno. Is that about right, would you say? Or did I misunderstand something? Unbelievable. Mr. Sholmes' partner is a force to be reckoned with. Iris Wilson, sharpshooter. after that shoot persists of the situation from an entirely unexpected source. It must be acknowledged that the previous summation examination has yet to reach its conclusion. This is absurd. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the court now looks to you for your final leanings in this matter. As proud citizens of Her Majesty's Britain, I'm sure you have come to fair and just conclusions. So then, state your final decisions and turn, please.
무罪!
무罪
무罪! 유罪!
유罪
무罪!
Hey! Oh. 2 call guilty and 4 call not guilty. Such is the outcome of the summation examination. My lord, with all due respect, this is an outrage. The prosecution refuses to accept this decision. On what grounds? If these jurors are persuaded by some half-baked concoction devised by pretender to rail police work, then they are too ignorant to be trusted with the judgment of anyone's guilt. I'm sorry, Lord Van Zieks, but the outcome of the summation examination cannot be ignored. This trial will continue. So dramatic. Call in Edgar Benedict. Nevertheless, we find ourselves in a rather awkward situation. The defense has very reasonably requested the subpoena of a new witness. But sadly, I fear that will be impossible. What? The name the gentleman gave for himself, Eggert Benedict, is quite clearly false. I don't believe it. Just when I managed to prove the man was there the night. Could I say something? Who was that, please? Who spoke? Oh, it was me, my lord. My lord. Does she know her? I think she knows her. Him. What have you to say, madam? If possible. Inspector. Aye? Me, ma'am. I wonder if you might show the photographic print to me again. The one in which the gentleman is shown. Alright, this one you mean, of Mr. Benedict. Mr. Benedict. Yes, there's no doubt in my mind. Sure, number 5, you don't mean to say... You know this man? Yes, I know him. What? No. Good gracious! Order? Order? Juror number 5, how on earth? I'm a communications officer. Stop. As we can clearly see. The gentleman in the photograph is... Stop. Also a communications officer. Stop. He works in my office. Stop. A very talented operator, in fact. Stop. He should be in the communication station now. Stop. Tapping away on the telegraph. Stop. This doesn't seem right somehow. Can't put my finger on why, but it doesn't feel right. I suppose we all imagine the accomplice will be some sort of hardened criminal. It's a bit unexpected to find out that he has a respectable job by day, whatever he gets up to at night. Yeah, I suppose that's it. I suppose that's why I felt something was wrong. If the gentleman is at London's communication station, we should be able to subpoena him within the hour. Lord Van Zieks, if you please. Yes, my lord. Make the necessary arrangements with all haste. As your lordship bids. The court will recess for 1 hour. When the new witnesses arrive, we shall reconvene to hear the gentleman's testimony. Inspector Gregson? Yes, my lord. I should like to hear from you specifically about events at the pawnbrokery on the day in question. Come to my chambers during the recess. Yes, sir, my lord. My lord. Very well. Court is adjourned until 1:40 p.m. Edgar Benedict. To be continued. Should I stop here? It's cutting the episode a little bit short. You know what, we'll just keep going a little bit. We might be able to do, you know... I think we might be talking beforehand. Yeah. We'll do this part, and then like when we get back to the court, I guess we'll stop. Ah, Gina. How are you holding up? Starting to feel quite warmly towards the frequent cold shoulders now. Ginny! Are you alright? Aren't you saying anything? What's the point, eh? Why go to all this trouble and fight so hard for the likes of me? What? Well, you saw it, that picture. What picture? Ow, you mean this? The photograph taken by Curly's red-handed recorder? Well, I didn't think it would have captured a scene like this, that's for sure. That's hopeless. Anyone who sees that's gonna think I did it, ain't they? Well, I would pretend it wasn't a bit of shock when the prosecution first presented it to the court. Surely you've got to have doubts about me now. You can't still think I'm innocent. Of course I can. Ginny, why don't you talk to us? Tell us what really happened that night. Hey? Bruno's cleverly managed to piece together a lot of new information, but still, we'd really like to hear it from you. Alright then. It was after we had that dinner together at your place, right, Iris? Then we all had a chance to chat up in your office, didn't we? Yeah, I remember. After that, I just couldn't get to sleep, so I slipped out and went down to the street to the 2-1 to Windybank's place. I had to know if Iris' story was there or not. If Iris' story was there or not, the hounds of the Baskervilles. I don't know what it's about or nothing, but if you ask me, there's something in it that Sholmes don't like, something what you don't want people reading. So that's why you lied to Iris about sticking it in look with Windybank for safekeeping. At least that's what I thought at the time. So you broke into Windybank's? I just had to know if it was there or not. I mean, I had no idea at all I was going to kick off today. I struck the lock and snuck inside. It was dark as you like in there. So I gave the old oil lamp on the counter a bit of wick. And that's when... What do you think you're doing? Ah! I nearly died, I did. Next thing I knew... I grabbed the gun off the counters, waving it in the air like, I don't know what. Ah, you're the girl who was in here this afternoon. I didn't think pickpockets went in for armed robbery. The mantle script. Oh, the mantle script. Have you got it here? The Sholmes leave a load of papers with you. A story. I beg your pardon. A hound of the something or other. If it's here, I want to see it. I'm sorry, young lady, but I'd sooner die than relinquish an article belonging to one of my customers. I don't want it. What would I do with it anyway? I just want to see its ear, that's all. Oh, you want to see it, do you? I want to know if Sholmes really pawned it here or not. Please, just let me see it and I'll go. Oh, very well then. But for pity's sake, stop waving my gun around, would you? So then the old cove unlocked the storeroom door and we both went inside. And it was there, like, my mental script. Sholmes was lying after all. You did all that just to check for me, Ginny? Anyway, then there was a bit of a kick-up out in the main bit of the shop. The skulking brothers arriving at the scene, yeah. What was that noise? Someone's breaking in. Dear bees, there's some burglar convention here tonight that I don't know about. I think I forgot to shut the door behind me. Sorry. Better go and take care of it. Could I possibly have my gun back? Oh, well, I'll come with you and... Now, don't be foolish, young girl. You must stay right here. Don't leave this room under any circumstances. And with that, he took the gun out of my hands and walked back out to the shop. I hung back in the storeroom like he said, straining my ears in the dark to hear what was going on. It sounded like they got into a bit of a scrap. I started to think I should help, see. So I was just about to go out in the storeroom myself when... Bang bang. I heard a couple of shots go off. 2, I think. Almost at the same time. And then there he was, right at my feet. Lying face down on the floor. I was right next to the storeroom door, so I slammed it shut and locked it quick as you like. Because you thought whoever had shot Mr. Winbank might come for you? Yeah, so I went to grab the old cove's gun. Figured I'd put up a fight at least. But when I got a better look at him, I knew. Windy Bank was a goner. That's kind of sad because, you know, I mean, you know, he protected Gina in the end anyway. I felt funny made all of a sudden, kind of dizzy. And after that, I don't really remember nothing. Because he told her not to go out, you know, just stay here. It must be when he passed out, you know. If I hadn't done what I'd done, you know, Cove might still be alive. Did you tell the police everything you just told us? Of course I did, but they didn't believe a word of it, did they? All they said was if I kept telling lies, it'd make things even worse for me. You'll be alright, Jeannie. Don't worry. Just stay strong a little longer. Rune is about to put the real culprit to the mill. That Cove was there in the afternoon. That Eggert's Benedict. Yeah, that bastard. I still remember how you looked at me, like it was nothing. He was there that night. Oh, he was. You saw him. You don't know his real name yet, but I'm convinced that he's involved somehow. Anyway, thank you for telling us what happened, Gina. I appreciate your honesty. You what? We can leave it all in Runo's capable hands now, Ginny. Mr. Naruto. Yes? How come you trust me? I don't get it. I mean, have you forgotten what happened here before? Come on, it was only 2 months ago. Me and McGilded, we told you a whole pack of lies. And you got to buck trot off with him, even though he was a killer. No, I could never forget that. Oh. I did what I thought was best at the time, but the pain of that error of judgment doesn't get any easier to bear. Still, don't forget that I also made you a promise. I told you that I'd be on your side to the bitter end, no matter what. But what if I'm lying? You could be working to get another killer off the hook for all you know. Evidence points otherwise, actually. I was once in your position, Gina. I was the accused in a trial. You what? Before I left Japan, I was accused of murder. And strange that it might sound, the circumstances of the crime were pretty damning. I was sure that no one would believe it wasn't me who'd done it. Oh, Runo. But there was one person who stood up for me, who believed in me, and was prepared to defend me. My best friend. Oh, Kazuma. Renosuke, no one believes in you more than I do. Leave this to me. All you need to do is put your faith in me, and I will do the rest. I was so happy. I cried. But even then, somewhere inside me, I couldn't help thinking, surely he doesn't really believe in me. Not completely. But I was wrong. As soon as my trial began, it was obvious that he had an absolute unwavering belief in me. And in turn, I developed an absolute unwavering belief in him. Since then, I came to realize, if you want someone to believe in you, you have to believe in the other person first. What are you saying? I promise you, Gina, and no matter what happens, I will keep believing in you. So you don't need to worry. I won't let you down. Even though I'm a diver and a no-good liar. You're not like McGilden. I know that. Eh? That's right. You're our friend, Ginny. Hey, Iris. We know you better than you think. And we've come to the conclusion that you're someone we can trust. Yes. That's really all we need to know. Exactly. Mr. Naruto, Sniffle. Oh, she crying. Defendant Gina Lestrade and a legal representative. Court proceedings are about to resume. Please head into the courtroom immediately. Yes, of course. Thank you. Thank you. I'd been both a defendant and a defending lawyer in my time, so I knew only too well just how hard it was to put all your faith in another. And I also knew just how hard it was to bear the burden of another putting all their faith in you. This is it at last. Final chapter, the final battle. Wish me luck, Sato-san. And I hope you're watching over me too. Parker. Aww. Sad. 17 April, 1:41 p.m. Wow, exactly 1 hour. Give or take. I hereby call this court to order as we resume the trial of Miss Gina Lestrade. Lord Van Zieks, have you successfully subpoenaed the witness? The subpoena was delivered to the communication station where the man worked immediately. However, the heavy rain has delayed the arrival of his carriage, you see. I see. Then let us turn our attention to Inspector Gregson's presence of the case heard by the court this morning. The glaring omission of the third bullet in your report is a serious blunder, Inspector. Yes, I can only apologize, my lord. And although the defense's chemical analysis of the blood at the scene makes for a compelling argument, I cannot permit such untried methods to be used as evidence in my courtroom. It's a big mistake to cross Hurley and me. Very big mistake. My lord, subpoenaed witness has just arrived in the building. Thank you, officer. Show him to the stand without delay. Mr. Eggert Benedict. Didn't expect to be crossing paths with him again so soon. Certainly not like this. Hey, there you are. Thank you for complying with the court's subpoena at such short notice, sir. But of course, my lord, and as an upstanding member of London society, it is my pleasure to oblige. Now, kindly state your name and occupation for the record. Ashley Graydon, Communications Officer. Mr. Graydon and I both work at London Central Communication Station. Now, perhaps somebody would kindly explain what all this is about. You were apprised of the situation by the court officer on your way here, I presume. Yes, I was. Something to do with a murder that took place at pawnbrokers on Baker Street. And some nonsense about me having been there the night in question. That is the accusation indeed. This really is beyond a joke, you know. Very well. Without further delay, the court will hear your testimony now, Mr. Graydon. You will respond to the accusation made against you under oath. Gladly, my lord. Gladly. Alright, you know what? I think I'll leave this episode here. I think like Naruhodo said, this is actually the final chapter. This is actually the final episode of the first because this is the Chronicles, right? This is actually the first game. So once this is done, I might move on to the second game. I might not, depending. Or I might just like play another game first before coming back to this. I don't know. But we'll see what happens. I have a feeling it'll be a bit easier to kind of like take this guy out, you know, like get the guilty verdict, but we'll see what happens. So for now, if you like what you see and you like what you hear, be sure to like, subscribe, and get that bell line so you stay up to date on all my latest videos. As always, be safe, take care, and I'll see you. Peace!